When you're building AI applications, it's very important how you communicate your data to LLM, because the most common practice right now is to just put it in JSON format and just give it to AI. And that's not really the best solution for that problem. And the reason for that is not only about the cost efficiency, but also that LLM practically gets dumber as your context grows. And if we look at this example, let's say our AI has a few tools, and when it calls a tool, and this tool returns a JSON, you can see that all the stuff goes into the context. In our case, like ID, name, interest, but also other than the information we actually need to communicate to AI. We also give it those brackets, right? And that's not ideal because each of these brackets, if we go to, let's just copy that and go to tokenizer, just paste that in, you can see that each of these brackets is counted as a separate token. And it's not ideal because actually our data should be something along the lines of this. Let's try to maybe clean this up a little bit. If you think about it, AI doesn't need to know about any of those brackets and like strings, you know. So the solution for that, I found this amazing library called TOOn. And the whole idea of this library is that it's a compact, human-readable serialization of JSON data for LLM prompts. And what it essentially does is just transform our JSON into a separate format that consumes much less tokens. So if we read their documentation, if we found some of the examples, so here, let's say where we fetched this data, and you can see that, let's actually compare that. We just copy this JSON. Let's say we fetch that from the backend. Let's put that in. It's 229 tokens. If we encode that into a TOOn format and check again, it's the half of the size, right? It's even funny. But not only that, you might think that maybe because we are using this strange format, AI will maybe hallucinate more, or it won't be as performant as with JSON. But actually looking at their benchmarks, I'm gonna be honest with you, I haven't used this in any of the production applications yet, but looking at their docs from the GitHub, we can see that it's even like it has higher accuracy than the JSON format, which is wild, but also it consumes like 40% fewer tokens. And so if we look at this TOOn, how it looks, it looks very similar to CSV format. If you think about it, here we're describing our object, ID, name, distance, kilometers, then this companion, and was sunny. And if we look at that, first is ID, then name blue, lake trail, and stuff like this. So it looks like a CSV. But because of that, it consumes much less token because we don't have any brackets and stuff like this. And also because it's for JSON, you can basically encode any, like the same object, arrays and primitives. So it's all the same. All you need to do, if you look at their like documentation down here, all you need to do is to install their library TOOn format TOOn, and you need just call encode data and give it to AI. So it doesn't require any more steps than that. You just need to encode your existing JSON into this format, and you will save like 40% fewer tokens. And because of that, also the intelligence will go up because the context window is actually smaller. Let's for a second compare the examples here. So they have an example for e-commerce orders with nested structures. And we have here our TOOn. Let's first look at JSON. It used 108,000 tokens, whereas our TOOn consumed only 72,000. It's like 33%. It's a huge deal. And I think because I haven't played with it, I don't know if I can like fully recommend it, like just go and use it. But I just wanted to bring this to your awareness for you to see and understand it, because JSON is not the only way to communicate data to AI, and you can also communicate it in XML format. You can maybe transform your JSON into XML and give it to AI, and it will use less tokens and consume and use less tokens and perform probably like better. And I don't have data to back this up, but they have a like a chart here where you can see that TOOn is actually performed better than JSON. Here we also have our XML, which is performed 55% versus 57 for JSON and 59 for TOOn. So keep that in mind. But the whole idea of this video is not only show you this library, which is amazing, and I would probably use it in my next project, and I'll test it out more, but also to bring to your awareness that the JSON is not the only format to communicate to AI. You can also communicate it in Markdown format if it makes sense for like articles and stuff. So just don't get fixated on JSON. It's not the best way to communicate data to AI. If you have any other tips, let me know. If you found this helpful, let me know also in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.